Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. This is a long time awaited update. I know many of you have been, emailing me and sending me messages asking, when I'm coming back, and I wasn't sure. I've had a variety of issues. It's kind of hard to put a priority of which one really altered everything, but I had my 25th anniversary was on Veterans Day, November 11th. And we had planned on going to Maui, and because of the COVID mess, we just decided not to. I don't want to go and have to wear a mask, and we wanted to renew our vows and have it all filmed, and I'll wait even a couple years if I have to until everything is back to normal, if it ever gets back to normal. So right here in our state, everything has kind of been back to normal. It's really nice. We've been going out to eat. Everything has been just like it was. I mean, we had initially 6 weeks where they kind of shut everything down, but then that all changed. And so anyway, we had that. My wife and I wanted to make a concerted effort to try to spend more time together, and instead of both being on our phones and being on the internet. So we kind of consciously decided to unplug her from Facebook and Instagram, whatever she goes on, I don't even know anymore, and then me mostly from YouTube. So that was part of it. We had the whole election in America here, which was an absolute disaster with the worst political corruption I have ever seen. I can't believe what they got away with, pissing 80 million people off, but it is what it is. I'm not happy about it. They installed a new chairman against the will of the people, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens in the future. It comes from that. But this state has been steadfast, and the hammer straight down, full speed ahead. Everything is fine. The state actually has a surplus of money. We've done very well throughout the whole COVID fiasco. And when you have a conservative run state, that runs the way Idaho does, it's like business as usual. The economy is just booming here like you cannot believe. Our house has gone up $231,000 in 1 year, exactly. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. It took us 7 years to get $200,000 in equity in our California house. So it's growing like leaps and bounds. And because of COVID, everyone and their brother wants to move here into Texas and Tennessee and Arizona and other states. So it's it's been interesting. So we've got the my anniversary and kind of my newfound love with my wife. We've really been the closest we've been in years because we've made an effort to put our relationship first, and it's been really nice. It hasn't been that great. There's been a lot of tension moving here to a new state and the whole COVID thing, and she's had to work from home, and I've been recovering from my spine fusion operation, which is quite painful. And then things kind of changed with my health. That's the other dynamic, is we've had a lot of health things, mostly with my back initially, and then I found out that I had some other physical problems. I've talked privately with just a handful of friends of mine about it. It's not something I feel comfortable disclosing. I don't know if I ever will, but I mean, I've come pretty close to buying it, to where I'm not going to be around. And I was shocked and surprised. So because of that, I've kind of made peace. I haven't talked with my mother and God since 2012. I've reached out to her. I just had my dad here last week. It's the first time that we've got together, God, in years and years. And, without killing each other. It wasn't great, but I'm glad that I made peace with him. I'm trying to bury the hatchet and have peace, and that's what counts. You can be able to see from this video that I'm not in my Challenger anymore. I would need probably an hour to explain everything that kind of has happened, but to try to put it as briefly as I can, around Thanksgiving time, I started feeling a little bit better with my back, and I told my wife, I said, if I can get clearance, by Christmas or so, or maybe in the next 3 months, I'd like to, by the end of February at the latest. That's when I had my time was up to see my doctor, the doctor that did the operation, and I wanted to get clearance to get a fresh X-ray and have him say, look, it's okay now, I can, because up until then I wasn't allowed to lift anything heavier than a gallon of milk. So I mean, working a physical job is basically out of the question. So I had to really think about what I could do for work, and that's been a whole new thing, trying to focus on a new career, focusing on writing my resume, which I needed to make a new resume, because I got into a whole new line of work, which is related somewhat to what I used to do, but a lot different. You can see I'm out in the country out here, lots of cattle, cows, horse ranches. It's a beautiful environment out here. I love Idaho. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This is my 11-mile ride home. I went to work at 4 a.m. this morning. This is a Saturday morning I'm filming this on. And it's the only chance I get for peace and quiet. I've got so much going on. I can't get into all of it, but I've got family that's moving here real soon. My father-in-law just sold his house. He's about to move here next week. My wife is flying back to get him, make sure the move goes smoothly with the movers and transport his car here and all that stuff. And then my mother-in-law should be here by July. Her new custom home in Eagle will be done. And then she'll be moving here as well. So it's been like Grand Central Station. Very tough to do YouTube, to game. My wife's been on the phone like every night with her parents. Every weekend we're going by at my mother-in-law's house, taking pictures and texting her the photos. And it's been an interesting 6 months that I've been away. I've been planning for about 2 months now of coming back to YouTube. In fact, I even filmed a video maybe a month ago that was over an hour long, like an hour and 10 minutes. And it was just, I was trying to do too much. I was trying to go over all my games. And because I've got a tremendous amount of gifts and pickups that I could show. So I want to have like an update and then show all and it was going to be this lengthy video, and I kind of edited it down to about an hour and 10 minutes, and it was just all over the place. I wasn't happy with it. I looked really tired, and I'm real tired now because I only had like 3 hours sleep last night. But I'm done with work. We get a lot of overtime. I'm doing 9-10 hour days, and then I work a lot of Saturdays. Sometimes I'll say, yeah, I'll work Saturday if I can come in at 4 and leave at 8, or leave at 11 o'clock in the morning, something like that. That way I still have the bulk of my day left to do what I need to do. But anyway, I was all over the place. My neurologist cleared me for work back in February. And right before then, we started kind of testing the waters and looking at beautiful country out here. I just love they're starting to build homes and kind of encroaching. Here's some nice cows and horses here. Or these are cows here. I think the next field over has the horses. There's a lot of horse ranches out here too. It's just beautiful out here. I just absolutely love the air. Is so clean and fresh, and I love this drive to and from work. But anyway, my wife found me a really good job as an industrial painter, and there were a couple ones that I had gotten good feedback from, but this one they immediately fired back, said, we think you'd be a really good fit for our company. So I had a lengthy interview with it's a huge company. It's been around since I think 1904, 1909, something like that. They were one of the original companies that built the railroads in America, that built the steel for the rails and all the railroad ties. And they're still huge out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is a satellite company, another company that's under them. And we've got another plant. We have a plant that was in Spokane, Washington. They opened it up about a year ago here in the Boise area. It's in Nampa, actually, just adjacent to Boise. And we kind of do we build a product for the kind of the Pacific Northwest, all of California and Pacific Northwest up to Alaska and Hawaii. And then we have another plant that's in Texas. They do pretty much the southern and middle parts of the state of the U.S. And then another one, I think it's in Virginia, and they do the whole East Coast and New York up to Maine or all that, so to Florida. So it's a good company. There's lots of room for growth. The money is like exceptional. My God, if I had had a job like this years ago, I would have stopped painting homes. I could have made so much more money. The benefits are fantastic. I already have fantastic benefits through my wife's corporate job. So I tripled my life insurance, so that way she'll get a few years of my annual salary, which is huge. I mean, my first paycheck, I could have bought a new PS5 and an Xbox Series S. My take home, is fantastic. Really good money. So unfortunately, it's on a dirt road for right now. They're about to build an industrial park where I work, but for right now, there's been some problems with the county getting permission to pave the full road. So there's a couple miles of a dirt road I have to drive, and my Challenger was just, I felt I was killing the thing by driving it on that road, even though I would go like 9 or 10 miles an hour. I said it's a matter of time before I get rock chips and damage on this. And there's a big concrete plant. It's in a decommissioned rock quarry, so it's really not ideal for a lowered car like a Challenger. So almost home now. I'm just kind of taking my time on my drive home here. But anyway, I got a great job. I love the job. The pay is really good. Tons of overtime. The time and a half that I make, like even today, I'm making so much money just by working a half a day. It's more than I would have made in a few days of painting homes, So I'm very happy. My wife makes better money. We thought we'd make less money here in Idaho, and we're actually making, both of us, more money here than we made in California, which is a lot more expensive. Meanwhile, gas is, real cheap here, and car insurance and, everything is just so much cheaper. Utilities are very cheap to run. I can run my air conditioning morning, noon, and night from my 2,500 square foot house, and it costs like half of what to air condition our little tiny house we had back in Sacramento. It's amazing. So your overhead is so low here. It's a beautiful view. This is my new truck, by the way. I've got a brand new 2021 Ram Limited. It's a special night edition, where everything's blacked out. The grill, everything is, the mirrors, all the emblems, everything's kind of completely blacked out on it. The exhaust, everything. And it's a special edition. I had a really hard time finding this truck. I wanted this truck bad. I did a lot of research. I really needed a truck for work. And there's times where we do a lot of these products that we make that are throughout the state. They go all over the states on the Pacific Northwest. And sometimes we have local Idaho ones where we have to go and do some product placement on. And we have to go and do service some of our products and make sure that everything's perfected on them. So it's nice to have a truck that you can put tools and painting items in. And most of the time I wear like a giant industrial suit, looks like an astronaut suit, that has a complete air filtration system. So my suits, my head's completely enclosed, my whole body, and you got like air conditioning inside the suit, and you're basically spraying, fairly harmful paints, toxic paints. But the money's great. I just love them, and the job is so easy. I have to slow down. I'm used to being under the gun painting homes, where you're up against it. You got to be done in a certain timeline. This is like a government type job. We create products for the National Park Service, the military, and the schools all over California, Oregon, Washington, Alaska. We're doing a bunch of these products for Alaska right now, and we're going to ship them up there in a barge. And it's just a very cool job. I love the job. Some of my friends know what I do, and I sent pictures. I can't talk about it in any way on social media, because I signed a lot of paperwork on this job, because it is a lot of government contracts, and there's a lot of trade secrets. We're not allowed to have any phones with us. We can be fired. You get caught with a phone on this job, they'll fire you. They don't want any espionage of people taking away, the secrets, because other people are trying to create products that are similar to ours, apparently. So I respect their rules, and I abide by all the rules. This is where I live. This is the homes. It's kind of right on the edge of the farmland, now the buildings are encroaching on it. But anyway, this is, I'm almost home now, but it's a great job. So my wife helped me get the job, thanks to her wonderful work with the resume, and everything has gone real smoothly. I've been there for a few months now, since I think early March. I started the first week of March. So it's been March, April, May, June. It's been a few months I've been there, maybe 3 months or so, I guess. I don't know. Oops, he's walking our dog. But I love the job. The pay is fantastic. I make more in a week than I made in a couple weeks. It's probably a 35% increase overall. And when I'm doing overtime, it's almost double what I used to make. It's very good money. So I could easily afford this truck. I traded my Challenger in. I really didn't want to get rid of it. I was tempted to keep it and then buy a used truck for work. But, you know, I said there's just, I don't drive the car. It just sits in the garage. I don't drive it. It's really not, here's my neighborhood here. I'm finally turning into not far from my house. And what time is it now? I'm not sure. It's probably 8 something in the morning, probably approaching 8:30. I like working early because I can put in 4 hours, make some really good money, and then go home, and I'm home by 8 o'clock or so. This guy's got a beautiful Ford truck in his garage. Really nice. There's a lot of guys that have a lot of nice custom cars here, and I was very tempted to keep my Challenger, to hang on to it, but it was just extravagant to have 3 cars. Oh, and I got my wife a new car for Christmas. She got terrified driving her Maxima in the first heavy snow we had. She slid right through the stop sign at the end of the street, and she just freaked out. She says, I'm used to driving because I used to, from Maine, New Hampshire, so I'm used to driving in the snow and don't have an issue with it, but she does. So, about home. In fact, you can see my wife's new Chevy Traverse. Both of the cars match, ironically. She loves her car. It's got 4-wheel, all-wheel drive. It's a loaded Traverse Premier Edition. Comes with like everything imaginable. Let me set this up here. And shut this off. So I'll try to finish this vlog up here. So the work is good. It feels great to be back at work. I'm still in a lot of pain. I still have been seeing a physical therapist for several months, and that helped with my thing for work. I come home, there's some nights, and my Challenger also sat so low to the ground. I had my wife would have to help me get out of it after work. I got these heavy boots on. They're $300, steel-toed Red Wing boots, and I just had a hard time even lifting my feet out of that car. It was very hard to get in and out of. I really needed a truck. I miss my truck. I've had my truck for over 12 years, never got a scratch on it, babied it. And I said, I'll get another Dodge Ram. I've had great luck with them. So this one has even more horsepower. It's a 5.7 with the e-torque. So it has a total of like 540 foot-pounds of torque, gobs of torque. It pulls like a fucking freight train. It's awesome. And in a Hemi that's right under 400 horsepower, 395 horsepower. Next Tuesday, I have an appointment to have the exhaust system completely redone. They're going to gut the exhaust system and put a full Flowmaster Super 10 exhaust. That should give it another 25, 30 horsepower, I'm hoping. And it'll run and sound awesome. But for right now, I'm really enjoying the truck. It's fantastic. I'll do a full video just on this truck for those that are interested. It's got like all the bells and whistles. It drives itself, literally, lane assist. It's got the hands-free driving, and you could literally drive this thing home drunk. It drives itself home. GPS. It's got every high-tech gadget imaginable. I'll show a little, beef footage of it here. Not much, but just to kind of show you what it looks like. But very happy. It's got a Harman Kardon sound system from hell. It's 19 speakers in this thing. You can see some up in the back behind me there, the 2 speakers. And then I've got them in the doors and the dash. They're up in their ceiling everywhere. It's the best sound system I've ever heard, even better than my $2,000 Alpine system I used to have in my 240SX. But really a nice truck. It drives like a Bentley, super smooth. It's got an air ride suspension. You can lower it. You can raise it up to like a lifted 4-wheel drive. It's fantastic. So I raise it up over work when I'm driving on the gravel roads, and then I lower it, when I park it. And when I drive around the streets, I kind of have it lowered. Then after a certain cruising speed, it lowers itself automatically an inch, and the grill closes up to make it more aerodynamic. So you save a little bit of fuel that way, and just makes it a little bit more slippery than the older body styles. But really love the truck. I'll definitely, be doing a full review on this. But things have been good. Wife and I've got new cars. We wanted, and plus I got a 4-wheel drive, truck. I wanted all-wheel drive cars for each of us here. This is much more conducive to things. I want to get a boat down the road. That we have so many wonderful lakes here in the, Idaho, state of Idaho. Tons of lakes. A lot of the guys at work, they go hunting and fishing, and some of them have bass boats. Some of them have nice ski boats. And I've always wanted to get a nice boat, like a ski boat. So I'm going to get myself a nice boat, probably maybe next year or the next couple of years. And this truck can tow like 13,000 pounds. So I can easily tow a nice truck. It even has a trailer steering where it steers itself, literally backing up. It's amazing. This thing will park itself, parallel park, hands-free. It's got all kinds of high-tech gadgets on it. So very expensive truck. For a little bit more, I could have got a TRX, but I can't afford the car insurance. Would be crazy on it because of the supercharger. And then the gas, God, it gets like 9 miles per gallon. This gets a little bit better, maybe 14, 15 miles per gallon in town, I'm guessing. And about 21 on the highway, which is not bad for a big, heavy truck. But this is a crew cab. It's got huge back seats, even recline. You got heated seats, air-cooled seats, front and back. All the bells and whistles. It just doesn't have a damn CD player, so I'm trying to work that out. I got a year's subscription to Sirius Radio free, so I listen to Ozzy's Boneyard. I listen to my real jazz station on here and other rock stations. That's really a nice feature. I've got the 12-inch display in the center, which is huge. I got it turned off right now, and then I've got a giant console here. It's just enormous with just tons of cubbies and space, and you got a phone charger down there. I got my telephone, and it's just amazing, really nice stuff. So it's nice to have a truck again. I really miss my old one quite a bit, but gaming is good. I'm going to do a separate video and show all my pickups and wonderful Christmas gifts. I got some fantastic gifts. I want to thank everyone so much. I wasn't feeling well. Like I said, I've had some health issues like life-threatening, very bad ones. And I've been working through them. I'm not able to do all of the treatments that the doctors would like to do, but I'm able to do some of them. And I've lost about 20 pounds. I went from like a 46-inch waist down to a 38 now. I'm even going to be slimming down from that. So I'm losing a lot of weight, which I need to do. I've been really kind of working hard on losing weight. In this job, my God, because I do so much walking and I'm doing a lot of up and down stuff, it's just good exercise. I work up a pretty good sweat every day. It's a hard physical job. It's not for everyone, but it's not as taxing on my body as painting houses and lifting and carrying 28-foot ladders and all that, but I like it overall. It's really, really nice. But I'm trying to think what else. So that's pretty much it. It was a combination, like I said, of just I wanted some time away to just focus on, getting settled in the home and, the new transition into the new year. And I was really worried because I didn't know if I'd get cleared for work or not, so I'm just like waiting, like I'm going nuts being at home. I've never been out of work more than like 4 or 5 weeks in my life, ever. And I've been out of work since it was like April 17th of 2019, I think. That's an awful long time, and the doctors in California were of no help at all. The minute I moved to Idaho, oh yeah, we can help you. No, we'll give you the surgery. Yeah, no problem. Instantly got on it, did a great job. Finally, I can sit. I'm sitting right now, sitting with my back against the car seat. It's a little painful, but it's not as painful as it was. So I can game, and I've been having a great time gaming. Just got the new Dirt 5 game. A week ago, I got it last week, and I haven't played it yet. I have it installed, but we've just been so inundated with. My dad was here for almost a week last week, and that's all I need is to hear another lecture on, you're still playing video games. So I kind of downplayed the games and kind of put them all away. He saw all the stuff in the garage and liked what I did with the garage, making a game room out of it, but I just kind of quickly showed it to him and just swept it under the rug. I didn't want him giving me a lecture on gaming at 58 years old or whatever, but I've been playing that new Grid reboot. It's about a year old now, but I'm playing Grid, having a blast with that, and playing Mad Max. I got maybe approaching 20 hours, maybe 17, 18 hours into Mad Max again on the Xbox One X. I love that. I'm just having so much fun with that. But I feel guilty because I've already played, the 270, almost 290 hours now of that, and I haven't played all these other games, so I'm kind of all over the place with my games. But I'll go over that when I show my pickups video. I've got some digital games I bought and a lot of, physical games as well. Some of you have been following my community page. Randomly, once every month or so, I post something on there. It's just giving you kind of a heads up as to what's happening with me, what I'm doing. I've been meaning to come back. It's just been very difficult. So I appreciate your thoughts and prayers and kind words. I've gotten so many wonderful messages and emails, and Solid Rev and I have been communicating back and forth, and my good friend Phil down in Phoenix, Scottsdale, I talked to him about getting into a house. I said, dude, now's the time to get a house, and he listened and went out and he got a house. I couldn't believe it. He's really excited. So him and his wife are having a blast fixing it up. Congratulations, Phil, on your new home. I'm excited to see your walkthrough of it when you do a video of it. I've already seen his game room. He did a great job getting his game room all dialed in. And my good friend Jeremy of Asian Sleepy's channel, I'll have a link for his channel and Phil's channel and Solid Rev's channel down below. Been in touch with him a lot. Jeremy's been a really good friend, and he's been continuing to send packages. He finally sent another big package, which we've been accumulating a bunch of games, and he sent another package with some nice gifts along with it, with all the ones that I had paid him to find for me, strategy guides and what have you. But so things are going great, with the collection. The collection's it's almost wrapped up. There's not much left, really, just stragglers. We've got 2 great retro stores here in town. I finally went to the second one. They just moved to a new location, but I'm really happy with it. I posted a little, community poster around it. I found some PS1 games and N64 games and, just a bunch of older games, which I'm really happy to find. So things are good. Things have been really very good. I feel very relaxed. I feel so productive working again. I can't tell you how good it feels to be working. It takes an awful lot out of me. Sometimes I come home and I'm just too wiped out to even play a video game. And there's other times where I can squeeze in, 90 minutes or so, which is nice. But my stamina is finally getting up. My endurance is getting back now that I'm in better shape physically. It's just that my doctor said, Dean, be patient. It's a 1.5-year recovery for that type of surgery. And even then, it's going to take a while for you to come back. It's hard for me to bend over with this fusion. It's just, instead of all the joints working together, it's very stiff. So the one good disc and joint that's right above the 3 sections of fusion gets all the brunt of it now, and now that one's getting sore. So I got to be careful not to blow that one out. These are like shock absorbers or springs in a car almost, and you can wear them out, by overworking them. So I'm trying to pace myself at work. It's not overly demanding like, painting homes, but it takes a lot out of you. And some days I come home and I'm in rough shape. But I'm getting through it. I've weaned down off from the Percocets. I was on these horrible painkillers that were on top of the ones I'm already taking, plus these Percocets, and I had a lot of bad side effects from those, which I had to stop taking them. It was really hard to get weaned down off those, and I'm completely off those now. And then I'm on a lower dose of the other pain meds that I'm on. I don't know how much lower I can go, because I've already got down so low now that I kind of miss having the ones that I had, but it's enough to get me through the day. It's just enough to get me through and to make it home and all that. So I'm happy to have the help, that I can get with my doctors on that. When I feel up to it, I'll talk about my health scare. It really woke me up. And like I said, I reached out to my sister and my father and mother, friends. Relatives back east. I'm just trying to put everything in order. So if something happens and I'm not here in the future, you guys will know. my wife will be in touch with some of my gaming friends and let them know, and then they can do a video if something does happen to me. You'll find out through the grapevine eventually, but I hope not. I'm trying to, be here. I don't want to leave my wife a widow. She doesn't want that, so I'm doing everything in my power to try to really get my health back on track. It was a lot worse off than I had any idea. I had no idea. The doctor goes, "Dean, you're very close to..." He wouldn't let me leave his office until I had his full attention. Or he had my full attention. He said, "Dean, you've got to, you're on the verge of a heart attack or a stroke. I mean, you're like dangerously close to it. You can't continue. You've got to make changes or you're not going to make it." And so it really woke me up. I mean, my wife was just shocked. And we both have been like, and I just had some time away from YouTube. I needed to really focus on my health and this new career. And I've got so much is riding on my success for my wife, and there's other people and family members that are going to be counting on me. So I've got to do my best to be healthy and take care of myself. And I urge you guys to do the same when you're young. Don't wait till you're in your 50s to start taking care of yourself, because it's a little kind of too little, too late, to be honest. I got to drink 2 of these full of water a day. I'm trying to really drink a lot more water, and my wife is coming out now. She doesn't know I'm doing this vlog. I'll pause this real quick. Hi, Cakes. I'm in the truck. I'm filming a vlog. I thought I'd do it here because it's peace and quiet.
Sure,
But I'll be right in. Anyway, everything's cool. She was just wondering where I'm at because I've got to get my truck washed, and we're going to go to Costco and go to her mom's house and all that stuff. So it's kind of lengthy days, but anyway, it's good to be back. Thank you guys so much for your support, and so many. For my good friend Vinny from Idaho Falls, he's been in touch with me, sent me some wonderful gifts. He's been very kind. And my friend Al back east sent me a nice gift for Christmas. And my good friend Michael, he just went to Maui. I tell him how wonderful our trip was. So he went to some of the places I suggested. And Michael, thank you so much for your help. You've been a good friend and really given me a lot of good tips and lately, which I appreciate for gaming. And he's helping me with some modding, like a PS1 and possibly a PlayStation 3, so that we don't have to lose all of our games and digital things. I'm going to find a way to mod that PS3 so I can maintain all my favorite PlayStation 3 games. I'm going to mod them all. I'm going to try to mod probably an Xbox 360. There's a place in town that'll mod game systems too. And my big goal right now for gaming is to get it's not even so much a PS5 or a Series X, but it's to get my PS1 modded to where I can have digital and store on ROMs all the old games. So I can play all the games from the old days, which I'm anxious to do. I really miss the PlayStation 1, and I've got a nice, good functioning, PS1 Mini that my friend Steve gave me. Here's another one. Steve, thank you too. Steve always goes out of his way to just randomly, text or call on a Friday night or Saturday, and hey, dude, how you doing? How's everything going? And he's had his own trials and health things he's working through too. I mean, we all are, but things are going in the right direction for a lot of us. Everyone's trying to do their best to take care of themselves and take care of their finances and their homes. And, life is tough. You got to really put your all into it. You get out of life what you put into it. So you got to, take care and be thoughtful of others that are around you. And especially if you're married, you can easily take people and things for granted. That's something that I've really had to learn. And I'm doing my best to try to really appreciate the little things in life. And I'm telling you, I'm so thankful for everything I have. I've got a wonderful new home here in Idaho. I'm so happy with my wife, and I have great jobs, and very happy with the things that we have and the progress that we've made. We've really come a long ways. And it's been a very arduous journey that took us back in 2018. We planned this move, and we're just now seeing it all unfold, and the timing was perfect. If we had waited just a couple more months, we might not have been able to find a place. It's really difficult to get a place. Like I said, our house went up $231,000 in exactly 12 months. And I get friends that probably couldn't afford to live here now because it's just too expensive, you know. So we could sell a house, would make a lot of profit, but then where are you going to go? I mean, you got to go somewhere else. So this is a nice place because you can work here. There's lots of good work, good jobs here, and just nice people. I'm not used to working around so many positive people. There's no bad people at work. It's just nice to be in a really good group of craftsmen and skilled workers. They all have good attitudes. I mean, there's no dog eat dog, you know, backbiting and all that stuff. In California, it was like the morale of a pirate ship. Just terrible, terrible morale. On the roads you saw it at jobs, at work. Just people just terrified that you're going to lose their job and you're going to take something of theirs. And so there's a lot of that, you know, just bad attitudes, and a lot of negativity, and it's so nice to be in a positive environment. That's one thing we really do appreciate about being here. But but anyway, things are going great. I'm enjoying, you know, my PlayStation 4 Pro and my Xbox One X. They're still having a lot of fun with those. I play my 360 up on my desk here in the garage and enjoy that quite a bit. And I game when I can, you know. I'm still working on the game room. We're probably going to build a big shed soon so I can alleviate a lot of this crap that's been building up in our game room, and now in our exercise room too. We got some more exercise equipment as well, which I'll show in a later video, an updated video of maybe the game room garage deal. But things are really moving along nicely. We're real happy with the house and the progress that we have. So anyway, thank you guys so much for your patience, for watching. I wish I had more to say. I got so much to say, but just I don't even know where to begin. So I gave you a little smorgasbord of what's happening. I'm back. I'm going to stay back. I'm going to try to make these videos each week like I used to. I've just had to wait till I could kind of get my head cleared, and I know my health is on track, know my job is on track, and know that my marriage is solid, and that everything is good, and then that way I can return back to a weekly schedule. So I appreciate your patience. Thanks so much for understanding, guys, and enjoy your games.